was right before I moved here, because they just redid Everett Mall Way right before I moved here. And they just done the whole thing on casino when I was here on vacation in '86. Before that, it was ditches on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice little tripod.
Yeah. Seems to hold the camera really steady.
There used to be a house right there just recently. Now they made it into a parking lot all the way through. The guy I met at Danny's Music.
Get off of the bus right there is where I got off.
Danny's Music, they used to give this guy right there in one of those apartments was brand new, and he had a music seminar, and they had me come, and there's a bunch of guys, and we ended up going clear out on the island where Philip lived, clear out there on that peninsula, in this guy's home recording studio that wasn't finished, in this multi-million-dollar house. And it's another person I don't know whatever happened with him. They just started this thing called Seattle Records. It's like 96, 95. TJ actually introduced me to this guy. Actually introduced himself to me after I jammed with TJ.
There were no sidewalks here when I started working.
Yeah, no sidewalks on either one of these streets. This guy's a heavy-duty record producer, and I went out and sat in his car, because he had to drink some booze out there. I think he snorted some coke. We talked for quite a while. He came 2 or 3 weeks.
There used to be a water fountain here right after they first built this, and somebody put soap in it. And bubbles were going everywhere. It's hilarious. And they did colored soap.
But the guy died like a couple of weeks later.
None of this shit on the left is here.
Yes, these houses are brand new. I have never seen these. And I had to walk down this road a few years ago, and these houses weren't here.
Those
10 years ago, those houses were not there.
Yeah.
And this was a real ranch for the longest time.
Yep. And I found some weird little animal wandering on the road right up here. Freaked me out.
Walked to that park back in there. It was the second to the last house. This guy, they always, at the jet deck guy, they called him Santa Claus. Biker named Rip. That's his house. Wouldn't doubt
it was almost scary to walk through here.
Oh fuck yeah! I did walk at night.
Because I heard fucking animals when I was walking to work.
Yeah. The 100th Street where it goes over and down along the next street there, not 100th Street, and again didn't have sidewalks, but between Casino Road, not Casino, but the Speedway and getting over here, Airport Road, that road there, that was woods, thick woods, and I walked through there at night coming home from that one club on the Speedway, Big Sam's, and it creeped me out. I was scared. It wasn't dogs, it was coyotes. Right where that air base was, all those woods. Then one day I was walking by, a couple of them, and on one side, this entire forest on the right side of the road was gone. They cut it down in that week. The whole thing clear. It wasn't forest. It was like, wow. It was like a moonscape almost. There when you're walking by the lake at night, really noisy. sometimes you can actually hear the fish in the water slapping and stuff. There's all kinds of bird noises at night in that little bit of woods. Right after 911, when I would walk by there, I wondered, it seems so unguarded, especially at night.
Yeah.
And then someone told me that sometimes there's actually soldiers lying in the ground right there with a weapon. And I'm going like, I feel protected by the soldiers, but I'm glad they're there if they are, walking the perimeter. Because if you look at it from any distance, it looks like it's all sitting ducks, like you just run right out there.
Yep.
I know that's not true because working at Boeing, how tight the security is there.
It's redundant. Because it has to be. I know sometimes medication does that, but I'm not taking any extra medication or anything different.
That's why I asked the doctor about sugarless gum. He says that's the best thing.
About what?
Chewing sugarless gum.
Yeah.
It's good for your teeth and it keeps your mouth from being dry. Sugarless candies are not fine also. But the gum's really good because it's good for your teeth and gums and everything.
Savannah the other day. In Stanwood.
Yeah.
Ended up in Conway eventually. Trying to find Highway 99 North.
Oh.
Stretch out of Stanwood nice to buy 5 there, but
Yep.
but then it dies.
Yep.
There's nothing else left.
Goes underneath goes to an overpass bridge, and it runs into a train track. Yeah, I followed it as far as I could once before, a long time ago. Why is he driving so aggressively with that large of a vehicle?
I don't know. I'm going 60.
Complete ass. I'd say that's a jailable offense.
You're trying to make Canada by noon.
You know, these people, they somehow have this idea that they're invincible. We're getting to a point right now where most of the car wrecks are caused by bad driving. Not by the automobiles, not by drinking. Huge number of the wrecks are caused by just simple lackadaisical attitude, laissez-faire. You didn't know it's dangerous to drive that fast. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be looking at my television while I was driving.
If everybody else is paying attention, I wouldn't have to be worried, would I?
It's interesting because all your old Western movies will show the guy and the girl go out for a ride on the horse for the fun of it.
Yep.
That's a modern notion.
Oh no, that's how you went courting. That's how you went courting. Grandma and Grandpa. That's how Grandpa courted Grandma.
There's a certain amount of it, but going out and riding horses for the enjoyment was kind of like.
You get off the horses for your enjoyment.
Horses.
You use the horses to get to your destination.
Exactly. Beasts of burden.
You didn't do a rodeo for fun. You did it because you had to break your horses.
Didn't become a sport until really, literally the 20th century.
Well, that light just changed, and we didn't even get but 4 or 5 cars through. Of course, that's because we got a motorhome and a fucking bus in front of it. Place in downtown, but I wish there was a place in downtown to stop and get a smoothie. Just go through the coffee stand. That doesn't.
Yeah, I walked up to downtown and ate at the organic deli. It's next door to the good Italian restaurant there. Man, what a sandwich.
Yeah? Vegan?
Nope, it was chicken. This is their Santa Fe sandwich. Actually, it didn't have very much of a spiciness to it. It's just a really good sandwich. Just
Cuban. Little Carmageddon.
for what it is, it's rather brilliant design.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Porsche's idea of the Volkswagen car
purpose.
was so much smarter than anything before.
Well, it wasn't really done on purpose. It was just function. You know, back then they weren't thinking about aerodynamics nearly like they are now. Even Porsche, no one was.
They didn't have aerodynamics until World War II. Well, they didn't, because Porsche designed the BMW that was the fastest car in the world. When the first car they ever called a Silver Bullet. And actually, he introduced that whole concept in the car design with that BMW.
Traffic on Broadway is just so funny.
People cutting people off is the things I don't get.
I think they're getting ready to put a stoplight here. 26th.
26th and 25th?
Yeah. Because they've had the bumpers out there for a while now. And they've had a lot of calls, and they've had a lot of people. You know, they've had like when I called them, I told them they've had 10 people killed there at that corner in the last 25 years. And it's just not worth it.
It's gotten to a point right now where the people wander out into the street. They didn't used to do that. Occasionally a drunk will wander into the street, but now it's all the time. And we've had people killed on the sidewalk right here.
This is part of downtown now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not outskirts. It's 2 blocks away from the main center, from the main hub of everything. And so you've got to start paying attention to the fact that there's going to be pedestrians in that area.
They're talking about Broadway as being the corridor of Everett, and why they need to focus on housing and stuff on this block away from this street.
They need to put bigger buildings here on Broadway.
South and North Broadway both need to be put more housing for the people that need to be taken care of.
Yeah.
That I read all about this. What's interesting is some of these people foresaw this quite a while ago, and for some reason, like, they say this idea and people laugh at it for 20 years, and then finally one guy goes, we ought to do this, and everybody goes, that's a pretty good idea.
Glad you came up with it, Bill.
It's like the guy
my grandfather told me about it on his deathbed 10 years ago.
Guy who designed I-235 bypass all the way around Wichita, and they said he was crazy. Made that model they had at the library. They put him away.
Yep.
And then while we were living there, they kept on saying, there's no way we could ever use the Northwest Corridor. Nobody will ever stay. Won't sell us the land. Well, the federal government, all they have to do is go, you're selling us the land. We don't want to sell. You sell us the land. We moved the Indians. We'll move you.
Yep.
Well, no, you can't come up with some ridiculous amount of money. It's market price.
Yep.
But this isn't New York. We're not talking about New York. There's a funny thing about that. Commercial about these two people talking to their financial advisor, and the woman says, well, some people think $103,000 isn't that much money, and says, well, we're talking about you, not about them.